Some of y'all remember when Stop in the Name of Love came on at a family reunion, and everyone, from grandmothers to little cousins, knew exactly when to throw their hands up with that signature stop gesture. The Supremes weren't just background music at black family gatherings in the 1960s and 70s. They were the soundtrack to our lives, the songs that brought generations together on dance floors and in living rooms. The music that made weddings feel romantic and cookouts feel like celebrations. Do you remember Baby Love? The song that made its way into every black household in 1964 and never left? That opening melody was instantly recognizable. You heard those first notes and you knew exactly what was coming. New hit people would start swaying before the vocals even began. Baby Love was perfect for family gatherings. Joyful without being too fast, romantic without being inappropriate for children. Grandmothers loved it because it reminded them of their youth. Parents loved it because it was wholesome. Kids loved it because the melody got stuck in your head and wouldn't leave for days. The song played at weddings during the reception when the older folks wanted something they could slow dance to. It played at anniversary parties for couples celebrating decades together. Baby Love was reliable. You could count on it to set the right mood, get people smiling, and create that warm feeling that made family gatherings special. You Can't Hurry Love was the song that got people moving when the party needed energy. That distinctive tambourine and bass line combination was infectious, making it physically impossible to stand still once the song started playing. Cousins would grab each other and start doing moves they'd practiced in their bedrooms, and the designated DJ, usually an uncle with the best record collection, would turn the volume up, knowing this song was about to transform the gathering. The lyrics spoke to experiences everyone understood, wanting love, wanting it now, but understanding that good things take time. Older relatives would call out the lyrics about heartache being the price you pay, nodding wisely. The song worked at every type of family function, cookouts, graduations, birthday parties, because its energy was universal and its message was timeless. Where Did Our Love Go carried different weight at family functions, playing during moments when the party had matured from excited celebration into something more reflective and nostalgic. This was the song that came on late in the evening when older relatives were sitting around reminiscing, when the energy had mellowed from dancing to swaying. The simplicity of the song, that repeated bass line, those straightforward lyrics, made it perfect for moments when you wanted music that created atmosphere without overwhelming conversation. Some of y'all remember your parents or grandparents getting quiet when Where Did Our Love Go played, watching them exchange looks that suggested the song carried private memories you weren't old enough to understand. The Supremes' music didn't just play at family functions, it became woven into family histories, making the songs feel personal and sacred. Come See About Me was perfect for the moment when people started pairing off to dance properly. The tempo was ideal for couples to hold each other close, and the lyrics about needing someone to come check on you resonated with the value black families placed on showing up for each other, being present, maintaining connection. The song carried instructions embedded in its lyrics. Come see about me. See if I'm all right. Show up for me when I need you. Family gatherings themselves were expressions of come see about me, bringing everyone together to remind everyone that they belong to something bigger than themselves. My World Is Empty Without You played at the more serious family functions, funerals, memorials, homegoings, when people needed music that acknowledged loss while offering some comfort through its beauty. The song's melancholy matched the sadness people felt, but its elegance gave that sadness form and expression that helped people process grief. But the song also played at happier gatherings, in moments when someone wanted to remember people who couldn't be there. The grandmother whose recipes were still being made, the uncle who died young, the family members who'd moved away. My World Is Empty Without You gave voice to the absences that haunted even joyful gatherings, acknowledging that family gatherings brought happiness mixed with awareness of who was missing and what had been lost. You Keep Me Hangin' On brought different energy to family functions than the earlier Supremes hits. This was a mature, sophisticated sound that appealed to adults who'd grown up with the Supremes. The song's complexity made it interesting, while its emotional intensity resonated with adults who had experienced complicated relationships and understood the pain of letting go. Do you remember how You Keep Me Hangin' On would get the older women at family gatherings nodding knowingly, exchanging glances that suggested they'd all been in situations where someone kept them hanging on with false promises? At family functions, the song played during the hours when adults had sent children to bed or outside to play, when they could speak more freely about adult situations, relationships that hadn't worked out, lessons learned from loving people who couldn't love them back properly. The song's intensity made it less suitable for background music. When it played, people tended to stop and pay attention, to really listen to what Diana was saying about setting yourself free. It became almost therapeutic at family gatherings, giving people permission to acknowledge their own situations where they deserved better than what they were accepting. Love Is Here and Now You're Gone was another mature Supremes hit that found its place during contemplative moments, when people were reflecting on how quickly life changes and how suddenly things can end. The dramatic opening, the building intensity, the pain in Diana's delivery, all of it created an atmosphere that was almost cinematic. This wasn't dancing music. This was sit down and feel something music. At memorial services and homegoings, Love Is Here and Now You're Gone captured the shock and disbelief that comes with death, the sense that someone was just here and now they're gone. The song worked because it didn't try to make pain sound pretty. It just acknowledged that loss hurts and change is hard. And sometimes all you can do is feel those feelings while beautiful music plays around you. The Happening, with its unconventional structure, became a favorite at family gatherings that had some theatrical element. Anniversary parties with toasts, milestone birthday celebrations, graduations. The song's dramatic builds created anticipation that matched the anticipation of special family occasions where something important was being marked or celebrated. We're already working on a video about Diana Ross in Central Park, 1983, the concert nobody who was there could forget, the rain that came, and the moment that proved Diana Ross was more than just a singer. Press the subscribe button now so you don't miss it. Reflections played at family gatherings during transitional moments, when people were arriving and greeting each other, when one phase of the party was ending and another beginning. The song's contemplative quality made it perfect for these in-between times. Adults appreciated the song's maturity, while younger people found it interesting and different from simpler hits they knew. The lyrics about looking back and reflecting on the past resonated at family gatherings where multiple generations came together, inevitably telling stories about earlier times, comparing how things used to be with how things were now. Reflections became the soundtrack to these intergenerational conversations, its mood matching the nostalgic but not unhappy feeling of considering the passage of time. Love Child brought social consciousness to family functions in ways that earlier hits hadn't attempted. The song's subject matter, being born out of wedlock, poverty, determination to break cycles, was heavy, but presented with enough sophistication that it worked at gatherings where people wanted substance along with entertainment. Older relatives had mixed reactions to Love Child. Some appreciated its honesty. Others felt uncomfortable with the subject matter being presented so explicitly. But the song's presence at family functions showed how the Supremes had evolved, from singing primarily about romantic love to addressing broader social issues that affected how Black families lived. Someday We'll Be Together played at the end of family functions when people were saying goodbye, making promises to stay in touch, talking about the next gathering. The song's message about eventual reunion resonated with the realities of Black families spread across cities or states. People who loved each other but didn't get to see each other as often as they wanted. With the faith that despite distance and time passing, the bonds would hold. The bittersweet quality of the song, hopeful but also acknowledging current separation, matched the mixed feelings people had leaving family gatherings. Happy about the time they'd spent together, but sad it was ending. When the song played as people were putting on coats and gathering their things, collecting sleeping children and leftover food, it gave everyone permission to feel both the joy of what they'd shared and the sadness of parting. To acknowledge that family togetherness was precious, partly because it wasn't constant. I Hear a Symphony was reserved for the most elegant family functions, formal weddings, anniversary galas, milestone birthday celebrations that had sit-down dinners and careful planning. The song's grandeur made it appropriate for occasions when people dressed up in their finest clothes. The orchestral arrangement created an atmosphere that elevated family gatherings into something that felt special and important. Do you remember how I Hear a Symphony would play during the formal moments at weddings? Perhaps during the couple's first dance, or when elderly relatives who'd been married for decades took the floor to show young people how it was done. The Supremes singing about hearing symphonies translated easily into celebrating family members whose presence in your life felt like music, like harmony. Back in My Arms Again brought playful energy to family functions, becoming the song that played when the party had reached that perfect stage where everyone was comfortable, inhibitions were loosened, and people were ready to have fun without worrying about looking silly. The song's message about relationships working out in the end resonated at family gatherings where people were celebrating reconciliations or reunions. It became the celebration soundtrack for second chances, appreciating people more because of the time they were gone. Nothing But Heartaches wasn't the most popular Supreme song, but it had its place. It played during honest moments when people acknowledged that life was hard, that everyone dealt with difficulties. The song played when someone talked about losing a job or dealing with illness or navigating divorce. When Nothing But Heartaches played, it gave permission for people to be real about their situations, to acknowledge that the struggles existed alongside the celebrations, and that both were valid parts of the family experience. I'm Gonna Make You Love Me, the version with the Temptations, became a family function staple because it represented collaboration. This resonated with the way family gatherings brought together different family branches, different generations. The call and response nature of the song made it perfect for participatory moments, with men and women playfully competing to be heard, creating spontaneous performances that became cherished memories. It celebrated the possibility of different people finding love and respect for each other despite differences. Automatically Sunshine from the Supremes' later period with Gene Torello and Mary Wilson brought fresh energy. The song's upbeat, optimistic message resonated with family gatherings celebrating new beginnings, baby showers, housewarmings. Black families who valued loyalty and continuity appreciated the Supremes continuing without Diana, seeing them as symbols of resilience and adaptation. The Supremes without Diana was still the Supremes, just as families remained families even when original members were gone. Stone Love brought a grittier, funkier sound to family functions, appealing to younger relatives who wanted music that felt more contemporary and connected to the social consciousness movements of the early 70s. The song's funkier groove made it perfect for the portion of the gathering when the older relatives had gone home and the younger adults took over the music. Stone Love bridged generations. Parents appreciated hearing the group adapt, while their children appreciated getting music that didn't sound stuck in the 1960s. The song played at family functions became a statement about honoring tradition while embracing evolution. The cultural significance of the Supremes' music at Black family functions extended beyond entertainment to encompass identity, pride, and the preservation of collective memory across generations. When the Supremes played at family gatherings, it wasn't just background music. It was affirmation of Black excellence, a reminder of artistic achievement from the community, and connection to a specific historical moment when Motown broke down barriers and proved that Black artists could dominate mainstream culture while maintaining dignity. Do you remember grandparents and great-aunts talking about seeing the Supremes on the Ed Sullivan Show? Or hearing them on the radio when AM stations finally started playing Black music regularly? These stories became part of family oral history, told at gatherings alongside other important family narratives about migration from the South and the Civil Rights Movement. The Supremes weren't just entertainers in these stories. They were symbols of what became possible when Black talent received proper support. The fact that the Supremes' biggest hits remained relevant across multiple generations showed their timeless quality. Children born in the 2000s could dance to Baby Love at family reunions alongside grandparents who'd bought the single in 1964, creating intergenerational connection through music that transcended the specific moment of its creation. The songs worked because they addressed universal human experiences, love, loss, hope, in ways that remained relatable regardless of when you first heard them. The music also served an educational purpose. When "Stop in the Name of Love" played at a cookout, and an uncle explained that this was the song that made the Supremes international superstars, young people learned lessons about Black achievement and cultural significance they weren't getting in school curricula. Some of y'all remember the debates at family functions, whether Diana's solo career was better than the Supremes, whether Mary Wilson deserved more credit, or whether Florence Ballard's treatment was unforgivable. These discussions turned family gatherings into spaces for critical thinking about music industry politics and the complicated realities of commercial success. The designated DJ made important decisions about which Supremes songs to play. The best DJs understood the rhythm of family functions, when to play upbeat hits, when to play ballads for reflection, when to return to favorites everyone loved. The physical format of the music evolved from vinyl to cassettes to streaming, but the essential role remained constant. Someone always protected the collection carefully because these songs were precious family possessions. The Supremes' music at family functions was democratic. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor, young or old, everyone could participate. The Supremes gave Black families a soundtrack for being together, for celebrating, for mourning, for marking time passing and bonds enduring despite all the changes life brings. Which Supreme song brings back the strongest memories of family gatherings for you? Was it Baby Love at weddings, You Can't Hurry Love at cookouts, or Someday We'll Be Together when everyone was leaving? Do you remember a specific family function where a Supreme song created a moment you've never forgotten? Drop your memories in the comments below and let's celebrate the music that brought our families together. Hit that like button, and if you want to help us preserve the history of this golden era, the music that soundtracked Black family life, and the memories these songs still carry, please subscribe.